So I started heading back, and she's like, okay, so she's pissed. And she's like, you know what? I don't care. I'm about to walk out of this bitch. Because my mom and my sister would call, like, hey, how's Janice doing? And I was like, she's good. No, I'm not.
Good afternoon, everyone. So, as you guys remembered, last week's vlog was very dramatic. I was in a lot of pain, a lot of issues, and I wanted to do this week's vlog talking about what actually happened because I was a little loopy. I don't remember, I want to say much, but I don't remember anything at all. And let me explain real quick that when I was in my little loopy stage and what I was remembering and seeing was apparently like Paul wasn't defending me. Paul was just staying quiet, but he has a different story, and that's why in the vlog I said I was upset with him. But yeah, he has a different story and I want to hear it and see what happened.
So, this day was difficult per se. You know, like normal, you know, she couldn't eat or drink the night before. We woke up early, we went to the actual hospital. And from there, everything started going downhill. This office, we've been there before. The doctor's very nice, he's very knowledgeable, and usually the nurses are super, super nice. Obviously, Janice has a report, and she accessed herself so that we can use it during this procedure. And we always let the doctors know ahead of time, like, hey, she has a report, so on and so forth. And they're like, okay, that's perfectly fine, no big deal. But the nurse was kind of giving us a lot of kickback.
Oh yeah, now I remember that nurse.
Yeah,
I forgot about her.
She was very rude. Because the kickback, I understand, like, hey, she's like, I didn't access it. I don't know if it's working. Well, here, you know, you can, you know, hook up a flush it, drawback, blood return, there you go. And she's like, well, we still can't use it, so I'm going to have to de-access you and re-access it.
I remember that. I was like, no, if you're going to de-access and re-access, I'm not doing this. I don't know you. You're not my nurse. No one's touching it.
And the thing about it is that we've heard this from some nurses, that if you do your own port care, don't allow anybody to touch it if you don't trust them, because a lot of people do not know how the proper, you know, how do I say, the proper protocols for ports. You know, an IV is one thing, a port is a little bit more sensitive because it can get infected very easily. And we've had nurses that tell us, like, there's a lot of nurses that have no idea what to do with a port, because it's not very common, in all honesty. So we were like, no, we talked to the doctor. He said it's okay. She's like, well, we're going to have to get an order. I was like, okay, well, go talk to him. He's right here. This is his office. And she finally came back, and she's like, okay, that's fine. The doctor said it's okay. And she's like, I'm not trying to fight with you guys, but it's just because, you know, something happens during the procedure or whatever, and the port isn't working, it falls back on me, and I don't want to lose my license, because the first thing I'm going to do is protect my license. And I was like, so you don't care about the patient and their well-being, the first thing you say is, I want to protect my license. So I'm just there, and I'm like...
Yeah, I remember he didn't like it when she said that. I
Because-
totally forgot about all this.
Because the thing is being a nurse, that industry is taking care of people in either hospitals and doctor's office, whatever it is. And in this situation, a lot of people are sedated, they're nervous, whatever it is. And that's what she's going to say. She's like, you know, sure, whatever can happen to you, but I'm going to protect my license. And I was like, that's ridiculous that you're actually going to say something like that to us.
Now let me say real quick, we've been to this office before, and they've never, their nurses have never treated us the way this nurse
No,
did.
they're always super nice.
So that's why we were kind of irritated with her. We're like, seriously? But she's just like, I need to follow protocol, this and that. I was like, well, they didn't follow protocol last time.
So that happened, no big deal. Now the nurses who are actually going to be in the procedure room with Janice are there. Same ones from the last time. She recognized us and, oh, hey, how are you doing? She was super, super sweet. And she took over. She took her to the room, and they're like, okay, well, we'll let you know when she's done, and you'll be all good. I was like, all right, no problem. So I go into the waiting room. I'm waiting, text my parents, everybody, saying, hey, she's in the procedure. I'll let everybody know, so on and so forth. So the nurse comes out, says Janice is done. I was like, okay, great. So I started heading back, and she's like, okay, so she's pissed. Literally what she said. And I was like, this is a repeat of last time. And I was like, all right, well, let me go see her. Janice was furious. Obviously, she was in pain. She just got stabbed in her spine, and that's, understandable. But the thing that irritated her the most is that she did not fall asleep once through the procedure. When I went to the back, the post-op area, she's there. She is wide awake, crying, in pain. She was pissed. And she was literally just saying the same thing over and over again, that she's like, I hate it, I hate it, I hate it. She's in pain. And the thing is because during this procedure, she wasn't asleep at all. She felt everything. The injections of the local anesthetic beforehand, each and every single needle, and then the actual needles to go in and do both the medication and anesthetic, so on and so forth. She felt everything. And the thing about it is that, yes, they gave her some medication to help her relax, like some sedation, but it wasn't enough to knock her out. So she was in a lot of pain, and at one point she said, stop. And they would stop. And then the nurse would be like, she's obviously a little loopy out of it. She's like, do you want to abort? And then she's like saying it. She's like, oh yeah, I was whispering it to her. And I was like, she has hearing problems.
I did not
She's
hear
not going to hear that. So they would keep going because they're like, oh, she didn't answer, so let's just keep going. And then she would keep saying, stop, stop, stop. And, that was the problem, was that it was a miscommunication. They weren't listening to her during the procedure because she didn't want to be in pain. Who wants to be in pain? And especially when you feel the needles going into your spine, that ain't exactly a fun feeling. They're like, okay, well, she's been out here for 20 minutes. We have to wait at least another 10 to 15 minutes to make sure her blood pressure's good because of the medication and everything. And once they're like, okay, yeah, she's good to go home, the nurse was so, she was not freaking out. She wasn't freaking out, but she felt so bad because Janice was pissed. She's like, I don't want to see you suck at your job, you do it, yours too, you do, I don't even know who you are. She was just pissed.
Let me say, I don't remember any of this. Oh my gosh. Holy crap. Just watch there just be an actual patient walking by. You sucked. Oh my god.
And some of the nurses were laughing. They're like, yeah, this
good.
is not the first time this happens. You know what I mean? They're like, I get it. She's hopped up on the medication. So they weren't completely blindsided by this. This does happen. But it's just funny because this nurse, she felt so bad that she was in so much pain. She's like, I am so sorry. And Janice is like, I never want to see this doctor again. And they're like, here, we're gonna, call you to make you a follow-up appointment. She's like, no, I don't want a follow-up appointment. I'm never coming back. And they're like, okay, you don't have to come back. You don't have to come back.
Let me ask, was there any cursing, or are you giving the clean
I'm giving
version?
the clean version.
The clean version.
Yes. This is the clean version.
Yeah.
She was pissed, and I get that. So finally, the nurses, they come, they're like, okay, well, she's discharged, here's the paper, sign here, blah, blah, blah. Usually they have to wait for transport to come with a wheelchair to pick her up and then take her to the front where the cars are, and I pick her up, and there you go. The nurse is like, you're not waiting, let's just go, I'm taking you, it's okay, it's fine. She brings a wheelchair. She was so sweet because she's like, she's pissed, she does not want to be here. And obviously with sedation, you're not supposed to just sit up and stand up and go. And she's like, you know what? I don't care. I'm about to walk out of this bitch.
Now, this exact nurse, I did have her for the first procedure at this office. And when I came in, for this nerve block, this time I saw her. Of course, she's in the operating room. And I told her, I am so sorry for the way I talked to you and how I was last time.
This time was worse.
And I told her, I was just like, you're sweet and you're an amazing nurse. So I did apologize. But I feel like I need to call back and apologize again.
Once they discharged her, usually they have to call transport, and the transport person comes with a wheelchair, picks her up, and takes her to the front where I have the car parked, and bring it around, and we get her in the car. She was pissed. She's like, no, I'm walking, I'm leaving. So the nurse is like, it's okay, it's okay. She went and got a wheelchair, and she's like, I'm just taking you out. Don't even worry about it. And it was funny because with sedation, when you're laying down in bed, when you sit up, you're supposed to sit up and wait, and then get to the edge of the bed, wait before you stand up. She's just like, screw this, and she's just going, and she's standing up,
ready
and
to run a marathon, apparently.
Pretty much. We went down to the front, to the lobby, and I was like, okay, I'll be right back. I go get the car, and as I'm pulling it around, Janice sees the car. The nurse obviously doesn't know what car I'm in. Janice just stands up and starts walking. The nurse is like, oh my goodness, and is helping her across because you're not supposed to walk by yourself. She can fall. And Janice is like, no, I'm good. Opens the door, gets in, slams the door. Let's go.
Oh my god, I'm so
Then
such a bitch.
Then it flipped. She got pissed at me because she says that I wasn't defending her or fighting for her in the doctor's office.
Advocating is the right word.
I wasn't advocating for her in the doctor's office because she's like, I'm in pain, and I was like, what do you want me to do about it? I can't like undo the procedure, you know what I mean? So I was like, okay, I understand, babe, just take it easy. I was massaging her feet to help her relax, and she was just pissed, and she felt like I wasn't defending her. I was very irritated because when the nurse like, yeah, she asked us to stop, and we asked her if she wanted to abort, and she didn't say anything, so we kept going. And I was like, yeah, but if a patient says stop 2, 3, 4 times, it's probably safe to say she don't want to do this. I was pissed. I was like, that's ridiculous on your end that someone is telling you to stop and you're not stopping. That's another reason why the nurse is probably a little bit on edge. She's like, we messed up. We didn't stop when the person told us to stop. That was another ordeal. She felt like I wasn't advocating for it, even though I was. I was talking to the nurse, to the office manager, and everything.
No. How I was feeling, I remember this because I was just like, my energy or anger's up here, and I wanted Paul's anger to be up here.
Yep.
But if he was there yelling and screaming, cursing like me, they probably wouldn't have listened to us. So he talked to them in a very calm, collective way and was like, this wasn't right. And to me, I kind of remember bits that he was talking, but I was just like, it's not good enough.
Mm-hmm.
But I was doing apparently really bad by myself already.
I was pissed. So, you know, me and Janice have this dynamic that if there's a situation, an altercation, whatever it is, and I'm the one who's hyped and yelling at somebody, Janice will be the one to be like the calm, cool, serene, like, hey, babe, calm down, it's okay, and vice versa. So she was hyped and yelling, and I was like, alright, she got that part, let me just talk to them and, you know, get the point across.
Now let me say this. Another reason why I was upset with him too, we are 2 different people, and we do things differently. If this would have happened to Paul in a hospital, I probably would be yelling and screaming. Like, how dare you do this to my husband? I remember one instance. We had to take him to the emergency room because of his Crohn's was acting up. And he was just throwing up like crazy. And I remember I told the receptionist, I was like, he needs a wheelchair. Oh, I'm sorry, you know, there's none here. We have to go get it at a different area, something like that. All I remember, I took that so offensively. I was just like, look, woman, my husband's not feeling good. He needs help. He has Crohn's disease. Go get a wheelchair. And Paul's dad's just looking at me like, good job. Good job.
So once we were in the car, she was still mad. She was talking to Jackie. I was calling my parents because they were calling and hearing,
your parents.
Hearing Janice yell in the background because my mom and my sister would call like, hey, how's Janice doing? And I was like, she's good. No, I'm not. I'm in pain. Tell them. Tell them. And I'm like, it's okay, babe. Pretty sure they can hear you yelling from right next to me. And my mom started laughing. She's like, those are the medication they gave her. I was like, yep. I couldn't help but laugh at this, and Jeannie's like, why are you laughing, huh? Is my pain not to be taken seriously? And I was like, you know what? I'm sorry, babe. Laughing. And then she really wanted sushi. She's like, I deserve it! Alright, babe.
I don't remember eating that sushi.
That's fine. It was like, we got her like dumplings and like rice. It wasn't like raw fish or anything like that, so it was like just Japanese food.
You fooled me. I probably thought it was sushi, like, yes.
Yep, pretty much, yeah. I literally got her steamed dumplings and white rice. That happened. We got home. She was in and out of it at that point. She's like, her energy started coming down from how hyped she was for the last like 2 hours. We got home. I got her in bed. Just chilling, relaxing at that point. She still didn't even want to see me. Not even in the bedroom. Like, I would walk in. She's like, what do you want? I'm like, babe, I'm here to help you. I can help myself. Don't worry.
And I'm just laying there like dead, like, no, I can't move.
Can't even reach the bottle of water on the night table. Yeah, so...
No, I want water.
Okay. So, that was fun. She slept it off the next morning. She's like, what happened? And I was like, oh, buddy, get ready for this.
And I did apologize to him. I was like, I'm really sorry. And don't get me wrong, I took it on everybody and everyone. AKA my family. My mom came in and I was being so mean to her. Well, guys, I don't know if you noticed, I have my heating pad here. I forgot the nickname we gave my heating pad. And this is really a bad day for me. I don't want to move. I feel horrible, but we did this for you guys. And I hope you enjoy Paul's side of this chaotic procedure. So guys, I hope you're enjoying your December month. For now, adieu and goodbye.